Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Lexi, and I post videos about like anything that I feel like. Yeah, I post vlogs sometimes. I post a lot of videos about reselling because that's a passion of mine. But today I am going to post a video that has been highly requested by like a lot of my like personal friends and Instagram followers, and that is about my tattoos. And I have waited until now to do it because I just finished my sleeve. I just finished it and I'm so happy with it. It looks amazing. And so now that that is done, I am going to go through all my tattoos and tell you guys whatever about them. I don't really know. We'll kind of see what happens. So we will start with the very first tattoo I ever got. So this is the first tattoo I ever got, and it's in my Grandma Vicky's handwriting. It says, "Okay, darling." And so this one was like probably one of the most significant tattoos to me, just because like it has so much meaning. So this tattoo is right at the top of my elbow, as you can see. And so my Grandma Vicky, her arm, so she's actually paralyzed on half her body, and on her arm is stuck in this position on this side. So she had 2 strokes and a brain aneurysm, I think it was, when I was super little. So I vaguely remember her before her stroke and brain aneurysm, but the majority of my life she's been paralyzed in half her body, which, bless her heart, she is still amazing. She still goes out of her way to, like, she sends me postcards like twice a week. So this lady is the best. So this is her catchphrase. So like if we're ever on the phone or like she sends me like a postcard, she'll be like, "I love you, okay darling, bye." So she always goes like, "Okay darling, okay darling," and sometimes she'll say like, "Okay honey," or whatever. But "okay darling" is like her main go-to, and that just makes me feel so incredibly loved. And it's just like, yep, that's my Grandma Vicky, like that's her thing. So I got that one right there in the spot where her arm is paralyzed, because I love that lady to death. Okay, so now I'm not going to go in order of when I got them, because I honestly couldn't tell you which ones I got after that one. I just know that that one was the first. So another tattoo that is like in a, not like a memorial because they're alive, but like for a grandparent, is actually for my Grandma Vicky's husband, my granddad Frank. So I got his handwriting. Oh yeah, so this is in my grandma's handwriting. I don't know if I said that. So this is in my granddad's handwriting, and it says Fandabadozi. And everyone's like, "What is Fandabadozi?" And honestly, like, I don't know if it actually means anything. Like, when I Google it, some stuff pops up, but like between me and my granddad, so the first time I ever like remember using Fandabadozi was in like 4th grade, and maybe 5th grade, 4th or 5th grade, and we would talk on the phone, and he would be like, "How are you doing, babe?" And I'd be like, "I'm good, life's good, everything's fine, life's fine, I'm fine." And he kept going like, "Why do you always say good or fine? Like, that doesn't tell me anything." Which, like, it doesn't. That's just very generic, right? So Granddad and Lexi made up Fandabadozi, and the word exists, so we didn't like make it up, but like that's just like something we use now. So whenever he calls me and he goes, "Oh Lexi, how you doing, babe?" and I'd be like, "I'm Fandabadozi, how are you?" and he'd be like, "I'm Fandabadozi too, overworking, underpaid." And it's like the same thing every single time since I was in 4th or 5th grade. I'm 22, well, almost 22 now, so it's like, but like it's still our thing. So Fandabadozi, love him. The placement doesn't really, there's no importance on that placement. Okay, so let's just go on this arm. So this is actually one of the more recent ones I got. So this is an outline of me and my twin's face. So like this one's me, this one's my twin Sadie, and it's just an outline of our faces. Kind of cool, they're connected, you know, like twins. I like it. That one, so I because we wanted to get like another matching tattoo, but like, so she doesn't have it yet, but she wants to get it. And so we were like, let's try to find a way to like draw our faces. So I texted my friend Emma, who's a freaking amazing artist. Like, she's so talented. And I was like, hey, will you draw me and my twins' faces connected in a line? And I like sent her an example that I'd found off Pinterest, but like I wanted our faces, like I wanted it to be more like me and Sadie. And she totally hooked me up, sent me it. I think it was the next day I got it tattooed. So it's pretty great. And then also on this arm, I have found with 3 dots. And this is one of my favorite tattoos. I look over it a lot because I like forget it's there. But so most of you guys probably don't know this if you don't actually know me. But when I was 16 or 17, I moved in with my grandparents out of my parents' custody. So I moved in with my grandparents out of my parents' custody, and I just kind of like felt so like not abandoned, but like abandoned, you know? Like, I don't know, it was weird. Like, when you're 16, 17 years old, like, you're at that stage where you feel like you don't really, like, need a parent. Like, you know you do need a parent, but, like, it's just a weird age to move from your parents' house to your grandparents' house. Like, it was just weird. So I felt very alone. And, like, I love my grandparents, but it was just, like, a weird age to move in. So I was just like, I feel really alone, like, da-da-da. And then, like, after living with my grandparents, I was like, wow, like, these people love me to death. Like, they love me so much. And it's not the same grandparents as these 2 tattoos. It is a different set of grandparents. So they just really made me feel like I finally had a home. Because, like, my home growing up was kind of broken, and, like, that's another story for another day, but, like, it just wasn't super healthy. So, just, like, being in a household that was super loving, and then also, it has to do with the fact that I always loved Jesus, and, like, I always called myself a Christian growing up, but, like, it didn't mean anything to me until I moved into my grandparents' house and really, like, learned what love was. And then I was like, oh, this is what love is. This is how God loves me. So I was like, okay, great. Like, I'm found by my grandparents, by God. So the 3 dots is God the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit found. So just kind of a resemblance of like God is 3 in 1. God gave me the grandparents that he gave me, and they're amazing. Like, all of my grandparents are amazing. Like, I just love them. I love them so much. So yes, so that one is another important one to me. This arm is kind of like the special arm. Like, everything on here has meaning. This one, not so much. It's fine. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys. I have one on the back of my neck, which I don't know. Hopefully I'm getting it in the frame. But it's just a cross. That one's just a cross. I actually got that one because, like, so when I put my hair up, like, I feel like if I do this makes me feel so, like, self-conscious. And I don't know why. Like, I hate having my hair up. And so I got the tattoo on the back of my neck because I was like, well, if I have my hair up, people can see my tattoo. And I like it when people can see my tattoos. So then it, like, gave me the mindset of, like, I want to have my hair up because then people can see my tattoo. So I became, like, less self-conscious of putting my hair up. But whatever. Okay, so we'll get to the sleeve last because there's just so much there. So I'm trying to think. Okay, so I have one on my ribs. This one says Live Fearless. And so for those of you who don't know who Sadie Robinson is, she is a child of, like, the people who are on Duck Dynasty. Like, she's one of their kids. And she is, like, a Christian motivational speaker. And, like, my entire life have lived in fear. Like, I don't think there was ever a point in my life before reading her book, Live Fearless, that I was like, wow, nothing makes me fearful. Like, I'm great. Life is great. Nothing scares me. I'm not scared of anything. Like, and then I read her book, Live Fearless, and it, like, homegirl Sadie, you wrecked me. Like, wrecked me. I have, like, never been the same because it was just so touching. And like, it really taught me like how God does not want me to live in fear. Like, that's about as simple terms as I can put it in, but I got it on my side, so like I see it more than like nobody ever sees it. I don't wear shirts that like show it unless I'm in a swimsuit, so it's just kind of a personal reminder for me. Yeah, so then let's see, I have some on my ankles. So I have a squirrel. I don't know if you can really see it. I have a squirrel. It's like a one-line drawing of a squirrel on this ankle. I just like squirrels. And a lot of people say that like I have a squirrely personality because I'm like very out there and like energetic. So like my spirit animal is a squirrel. So like I just got a squirrel. Yep, that's about it. Okay. And then on this ankle, I have a cactus. Pretty cactus. So when I lived in my or like when I moved, okay, so the cactus, when I lived with my parents, we lived in Palm Springs, California, which is like the desert. So like I got a cactus. I also really like plants. I have a lot of cactuses. I have a lot of like just succulent type things. And I was like, let's get a cactus on my ankle. Okay, and then I have one more on my ankle that I forget about because it's like one my artist just kind of did like while she was doing my squirrel. And it's a white ink tattoo, so like you can barely even see it. But it's just like it's a little plant right there. Yep, not much there. I forget about it. I'm pretty sure she did that for free. Or just like included in the price of my other tattoos, so. Okay, so. I think that that's all that's not on my sleeve. Yes, that is it for my body. So now to my sleeve. So I'll start at the top and go down. So first we got Billy Bob the Buffalo. This is my favorite, like one of my favorite tattoos because look at it. It's so good. Yes, so this is Billy Bob. Just my shoulder piece. Love him. Good guy, good guy. Okay, so then we have this hand, which is holding a coffee plant. I like coffee, and I really like the work that one of my artists did on the hand. So most of these on my arm were done in St. Louis. I will link the tattoo shops that I've been to below and kind of pinpoint to which artist did what in the description. But if you don't live in Montana or St. Louis, I can't help you because that's where these artists are. So, got the hand. So then I got a bumblebee, which was done by the same guy who did the hand. His name's Walt. And he did such a good job on this bumblebee. Like, look at the freaking honeycomb dot. It's just so beautiful. It is one of my favorites, too. Okay, so then we got this, which is, like, on half my elbow. And so this is just some leaves and some like wheat or rye or whatever. We don't really know. I just kind of let my artist like design something to go because I had this spot open. Like I needed a filler piece because I was scared to do my elbow. It hurt really bad. So this is just kind of like a little bit of a filler piece. And I was like, hey, can we make something leafy? And then we did the lines to kind of just fill in the little spots that I had open. And then let's see. So I have this one, which was done by the girl who did the squirrel and the cactus and the one on my ribs. She did a lot of mine, but I got this in Montana. It's some eucalyptus leaves, and I just love it. It's so simple. This part near the armpit hurts really bad, like, so there's my armpit. It's so sensitive right here. I'd say my worst tattoos, like the most pain, is on my ankle, the inside of my elbow, and like near my armpit. The rest of them didn't hurt, but like these ones hurt so bad. So, just some eucalyptus. Okay. So then, in my ditch, we have the state of Montana because obviously I lived in Montana with some mountains. I actually love this piece. It fits so well in the ditch. Like it just works really well in that location. The artist did a really good job on the shading, and I just love it. Kind of like my home. Okay, so then this is like the piece that I just got. So it's like kind of peeling right now, so it looks really bad, but it's just an olive branch. And it was the last piece on my sleeve for that little awkward spot I had. And I love it. So yeah, it's peeling right now. Good times, good times. Okay, so then I have Beloved, which this was probably, I think this was my second tattoo, and oh, I love it. Okay, so it's in the handwriting of this girl who mentored me in high school when I first moved to Montana. Her name's Taryn. Taryn, I love you to death. And she really taught me what it felt like to be loved by God. Like, if it wasn't for her, I don't think I would have discovered, I don't know, I feel like I would have eventually discovered it, but like it would have taken me a long time to discover like how much God loves me. So like, Taryn, I love you. I love the reminder on my arm that I'm loved by God. And I love that it's in your handwriting, so shout out. Okay, so then I have half a sunflower because this Beloved was already here. So I got half a sunflower, just because like, I don't know, I like the fresh line that is kind of like the Beloved's almost like sitting on it. So yes, this is one of the only flowers I have. I have another one on my wrist, but most of my other ones are just leaves. So then I have this leaf, which I don't really know what it is. It's just a plant that I saw at the Botanical Gardens here in Missouri or in St. Louis, and I was like, I like it, let's get it. Okay, so then I have my leaf, my Monstera. Yeah, it's hard to say for me sometimes. My Monstera leaf, my favorite plant ever. I have 3 or 4 of them in my apartment. So like, it's just so cute. It's so pretty. I like how I have like some individual like leaves. Like this is just one leaf, and then I have like freaking gardens, like, right? So this is some eucalyptus and rosemary that I have. It was just kind of like a filler piece too. This was also done by Walt, the guy who did the bumblebee and the hand. He did this the same day that he did the hand. So just kind of like a little bit of a filler piece. Okay, so then I have this, which is a pine cone. And so this pine cone was done by a guy named Panda at one of the places I go to. It was just kind of like a big piece. So I have some scars on my arm. It covers them really well, so I just like it. It's just kind of like a solid piece, pine cone, some tree. So it's just like hanging on the tree, but the tree's not there, just that little branch. So I feel like the work on this was like really well, like the shading. And then this is the only piece I have that's in color and is like fading really bad. So yeah, so this is a little flower. That was a cover up of 2 stick and pokes. So one of the stick and pokes was like in here, like in the flower, and then the other one is like a cross. That was a stick and poke, and then I had another artist like fill it in even thicker, which like, so many regrets. Like, why would I have him make it thicker? Because it just looked tacky. So like, it's just kind of in the leaf. You can still see it, but like, we don't talk about it. But yes, so that is my sleeve, guys. I love it. I love it so much. Like, what's your obsession? Tattoos. Okay, so then there's also this one, which I almost forgot about. It just kind of like is a little wrap, starts right here, wraps around. Yeah, so that one's just a little bit of a wrap. It just kind of blends in there. Well, guys, I forgot to film an outro, so thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell so you get a notification when I post, because I do not post regularly, I will admit that. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.